There are two things that people love. In fact, they crave. Getting away from it all at a great destination and being there with friends or family. This is the story of 5 girls from Texas who've been friends since Girl Scout camp in the 70s. Back then, the camp counselors called them the mob. They never knew what trouble the girls might get into. They've been taking girlfriend getaways for years, but this one just might be their best trip yet. They've come to St. Augustine, Florida, and this is what happened when they were getting away together.
Getting away together is made possible by
TripAdvisor.com. 50 million reviews and opinions from real travelers.
They treated me like a rock star. Even the concierge knew me by name.
We could kayak right from our own private dock.
It felt like we had the whole island to ourselves.
I could almost reach out my window and touch the Eiffel Tower.
What an amazing vacation. We can't wait to go back.
Fantastic.
Millions of reviews of hotels, vacation rentals, and more. All from real people who've been where you want to go. TripAdvisor.com.
You've planned your trip for a long time. Wouldn't it be nice to know someone is helping you make it safe and relaxing? For more than 20 years, CSA Travel Protection has been making travel convenient with friendly, expert service, giving you security that your travel investment is safe, whatever happens, and the assistance you need from travel delays to emergency care. Before, during, and after your trip, we're CSA Travel Protection.
We have almost 450 years of history, presenting the last 30 seconds of it.
Did you know that Ponce de Leon was only 4 foot 11 inches tall?
Fountain of youth. He should have been looking for the fountain of...
German submarines. Really?
German spies actually landed on the beach here in Ponte Vedra during World War II. But they were later captured by...
Ghost of Chief Osceola. They say he roams the ramparts at night. Can you see him?
No. Where?
Our history is not the same old story here on Florida's Historic Coast. Visit floridashistoriccoast.com for details.
It all started at Houston's Girl Scout Troop 1500. Deidre, Linda, Kathy, her sister Patty, and Georgianne, nicknamed George, were about to form a lifelong friendship.
When I was a little girl.
We were all at Camp Arnold in Texas. We're all from Texas, and we went to camp together.
And I began probably around the 7th and 8th grade.
Even though we were actually from different socioeconomic backgrounds, different religions.
I think we were all at the same place at the same time. You know, kind of we all had the same thinking and feelings and emotions.
We were canoeing, we were getting dirty. It was great. It was fun.
We always had a blast together, and we always used to make trouble together. That's why they called us the mob.
My role in the group, besides being the designated driver for them, because I was the only one that could drive at the time, was the outside person, trying to make sure that everybody kind of kept on an even tone.
The beauty of the outdoors was a real bonding factor for us. That was also a time, I think, when people were becoming interested in organic gardening and being full of nature, and we were right on with that.
We stayed together from the 7th grade on, and then all of a sudden, you know, you get married, you have kids, you separate, you move to different areas.
George wrote a letter, and it was really touching.
The letter was a period of time that I was going through, and they always were in my mind all the time. She said, you know, all of us really meant a lot to her, and she pointed out the fact that, well, we all felt that same way. We all had that same feeling. In 1998, we decided to get together again, and we got together here in St. Augustine for the first time.
That was 13 years ago, and the girls have been getting together ever since. This time, they decided to come back to the place where they first reunited. The city of St. Augustine, Florida. The oldest city in the nation. Nestled in the natural beauty of Northeast Florida, it's a hidden treasure. It's a quaintly charming and sometimes quirky little town. It's cradled by the sprawling beaches of Ponte Vedra and St. Johns County. Settled by the Spanish in 1565, St. Augustine looks more European than Old Florida. It's less than an hour south of Jacksonville and less than 2 hours north of Orlando. As you drive south on US A1A, your heart rate begins to slow down, and you begin to see why St. Augustine continues to attract travelers from all over the world.
Kathy is the one who put all this together as far as where we were going to stay. So when she approached us and showed us pictures of the beach home that she had found, we were like, oh, that is gorgeous. And first question was, is it on the water? I mean, do we see the ocean? She goes, it's right there.
This is the one. It's right on Porpoise Point.
We drove up, and it was just like we came back through the back of the house. You could see the water, and we're all excited, and we're running up the stairs, and who has the key? We all get in, and the first thing we walk in is we see these beautiful windows. I mean, from floor to ceiling, overlooking this beautiful ocean.
This house is a perfect house for us because we do love to be pampered somewhat. There is beauty here.
To rent a home, especially, right here on the water like this, and it's pure luxury. You've got your kitchen, you've got everything you possibly need. It's all just right here, and it's so beautiful. Really, pictures don't do it justice for the most part.
Let's go outside.
Okay, let's go.
Here we are! Oh my gosh! I can't even believe we're here. We're finally here, and look at this view, and look at this place. It was perfect. Perfect.
Better than the pictures. Completely beautiful.
The Texas girls are in for a treat. Unlike some travel locations that are defined by one thing, like golf or skiing, St. Augustine offers a collection of bite-sized little packages that make you say things like, wow, I had no idea this was here.
I love the history of it. The city itself treasure their historical roots so that they have kept the buildings somewhat the same. They haven't painted over and knocked down. They really treasure their history and make the most of it.
The whole skyline is just, it feels like the way it must have felt back in the day. In fact, you cannot build a building taller than the lighthouse. You will always have an unrestricted view of the sunrise because the buildings won't be there, the sun will. This whole area is steeped in history, and actually it's called Florida's historic coast, and that's one of the reasons why I moved here.
Don't worry, St. Augustine is serious about its history, but it's also relaxed about it. Walking down 400-year-old streets, you might catch glimpses of artists working on their latest creation, and then right next door, a souvenir shop.
We have a lot of history in our group with each other, as does St. Augustine.
What I really love about being with them again is like being able to rediscover who I actually am, because you feel the possibilities and you remember who you were. And it's really all about your attitude of how you live every day.
They have been through such life differences, each one of them, but coming together under these wonderful circumstances and just getting together is so important for all of them.
Preparen, apunten, disparen.
Just off of St. George Street, you step back more than 2.5 centuries into the Spanish quarter of colonial life in the 1740s. The Spanish Quarter is a self-guided living history museum. You set your own pace and sort of drop in on costume interpreters who each have a story of their own, like at this ordinary kitchen from an extraordinary time in American history.
Here, ladies, we have a nice typical meal of arroz con pollo.
The spirit of St. Augustine is the spirit of, like, survivor.
And what is this shelf?
Well, this is called a balda, a rat shelf. A place to store your food.
When you know history and what people really did back then, those were true adventures. They didn't have cell phones, they didn't have backup. They really lived by the seat of their pants.
Actually, when you make cornmeal on the matate there, you save the corn cobs, and you actually save the corn husks. The corn husks were used to make doll.
This town had people from all different backgrounds, different countries coming, trying to take it over. The spirit of survival here is amazing.
You know about sangria, of course. Did you know it all started from trying to make that stale wine that was shipped here taste a little better by adding fruit and sugar?
Lemon,
Huh. Those Spaniards knew how to make the best of everything.
So add whatever we can, sugar from Cuba, rum, brandy, and that's what you're enjoying.
There is a lot of history here. I think there's a lot of people that don't even know that St. Augustine's here. And I think they're missing out because it's a great little town.
Salud! Salud!
When you go on vacation, of course, you think about all the food you want to bring, especially to a beach home. It's fun for everybody to get together and put their input in as to what they want for dinner.
That's nice. We need 5 of those.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll definitely want that. Yeah,
okay.
We need 6 of those.
All right. We need one.
The farmer's market in St. Augustine is amazing because it's not like any other farmer's market you've ever been to. Because of the setting where it is, you've got the trees that are just like hanging over you with the moss that comes down, and it's just so peaceful.
We're going to look for some fresh vegetables. We're going to look for some bread, hot sauce, and the daddle peppers, because that's the unique thing here.
Here are the daddles. We have a sweet daddle, which is the red one, and the yellow daddles are the ripe. The daddles are our local famous pepper.
Linda has been appointed designated deal maker, and she has an advantage because she's buying shrimp for 5. Fresh St. Augustine shrimp. This early morning trip to the farmer's market is going to pay off with a feast tonight.
Are they all fresh?
The Old City Farmer's Market is one of those word-of-mouth gems. It opens every Saturday morning at 8:30, and the tents fold by 12:30 sharp, so you'll want to get there early.
It's all local people. It's all handmade stuff. It's local farmers, of course, and you can get organics there, and a lot of arts and crafts.
You've got so many different talents coming together. You've got musicians that come with their instruments, and there may be 1, there may be 15. You've got violins, you've got the guitars, you've got the bass. They've got a bag in front of them with little instruments, and all these children just come up and they choose what they want, and they just join in and play, and it's so adorable.
The girls' vacation rental home is right on the beach that stretches 42 miles up and down the coastline. These are the beaches of Ponte Vedra, Villano, and St. Augustine, and they are so vast that you are virtually guaranteed to have most of it to yourself.
The beach is like absolutely the most favorite place in the whole wide world for me.
The beaches of Ponte Vedra and St. Augustine are also known for buried treasure, not the pirate kind, but for petrified shark's teeth. Eons ago, this whole region was underwater. Giant sharks would die, sink to the bottom, and only their teeth and jaws would survive. Today, it's not at all uncommon for a visitor to find a shark's tooth that is millions of years old.
Are you having any luck?
No.
Hey, how are you? Fine.
While we were walking and looking for shark's teeth was like a moment of magic. Because I'd been looking for 20 years, and just to have that wonderful experience with this woman, Barbara, and her explaining everything to us.
They blend in. What we're standing in is coquina, which is Spanish for tiny shell. And it has kind of a mixture, muddled colors. So when you see, it kind of blends in. So I try to look for the black as much as I can.
Oh, you mean the top edge?
Yeah, look for the top. Just kind of look for the color because it blends in.
You mean like this?
She just found one.
No. Oh my God.
The fact that Georgianne reaches down and there's a shark's tooth, it was like, hey, this is so cool. But it really felt like that. You had that moment. Yes.
Everybody does their own thing. They come together, or maybe one is in another location just resting, reading. We give each other space, especially with a lot of women together in a group. You need your alone time just to relax.
Good. Can I have some?
I really like and appreciate a good kitchen when I go somewhere, because what you want to do is you want to experience what that area has, some of their specialties in food, the freshest things that they have to offer. This kitchen's outfitted. We're going to be able to have fresh shrimp. There isn't anything better than that. It's being able to see someone's face, having funny incidents happen in the kitchen. You can't really have that experience in a hotel. There's only usually one room or two. A home is where we all love to hang out, and we love to hang out together around kitchens. I really appreciate that. It's a beautiful place.
And you got your way home to the next time.
In case you haven't noticed yet, St. Augustine is all about water, and where there's water, there are boats. The city's huge array of waterways, rivers, and ocean estuaries play host to hundreds of boats from all over the world. But one of them is queen of them all. She's the schooner Freedom, an authentic replica of a 19th century blockade runner, and a far cry from those canoes at Girl Scout camp.
Thank you. All right. Welcome aboard. Thank you. Is it anywhere you'd like?
All the way on the stay.
Aye, aye, Captain.
I thought the schooner was amazing. Captain John was incredible. I loved Rich, one of his first mates, and the other John, and Owen. And with Kathy's help, I actually got to lift the sail. That was a blast, because I had sailed a lot as a teenager.
I love boats, and the schooner and the smoothness of the schooner, and not hearing the motor and the captain just made the whole trip great, because I didn't know what, the difference between a schooner and a sailboat, things like that.
This is the only schooner between Miami and Charleston that runs passenger trips like this. We do 2-hour sunset trips and 2-hour day trips. We can carry up to 49 passengers.
I think the value of having people that you've known over a period of time is that those people know you for who you really are. And there really isn't judgment about being absolutely silly. That every day is like, it's an opportunity to do something new and adventurous, and I love having that with them.
Captain John told us that what people most remark about is the serenity and peacefulness of the cruise, and that's what getting away together should be about. Legend has it that Spanish explorer Ponce de Leon came to Florida in search of the mythical Fountain of Youth. Local legend has it that he found it right here in an artesian well.
Come on, let's go try it. Get in here.
The mob knows that feeling young starts from the inside out. So they've headed out to the Fountain of Youth Archaeological Park. Surprisingly, they discover a beautiful 15-acre waterfront setting. Not at all the touristy, kitschy destination they were expecting.
For almost 4,000 years, this has been known as a very special place. The Timucua Indians lived here and drank the waters. Of course, in 1513, Ponce de Leon came along searching for fresh water. He had been at sea for a long time. You know, this water has over 40 minerals in it. It's very healthy for you. So what do you think?
Energized. Absolutely.
Remember back in grade school when you learned how the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock and celebrated their first Thanksgiving? Well, the Spaniards landed here in St. Augustine and celebrated a Mass and Thanksgiving feast with the local Indians 55 years before the Pilgrims. Who knew?
I went to this place called the Old Mission. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's right on the water, and they've built a very large cross to represent the first Thanksgiving that the Spanish had with the Indians when they came here and started colonizing way before Jamestown. And I had no idea about that because, of course, we don't learn that in Texas.
Now, after all this walking, sailing, and sightseeing, the girls really need a spa experience. Just 20 minutes north on the beaches of Ponte Vedra is a 5-diamond, 30,000 square foot palace of pampering, the Ponte Vedra Inn and Club Spa. It's the most complete spa in Northeast Florida.
Ladies, are you ready for your treatment? Oh, yeah,
We are still who we were. We have matured. We have more wisdom, and yet there's a chemistry that goes on when you get together with your old friends, with people that you love. It's kind of like when you're with family, and the instant you see them, it's like you didn't really have any time between you. The things that were really close and important still are. So that what we can do is when we have time later, we can share those heartaches and things that have happened in between the old days and the new. But who we are, in the essence, who we are, really comes out when you're with your old friends.
It's the last morning of the trip, and you'd think the girls would be sleeping in. Oh, but not the mob. They're coffeeed up and ready to go on an outing that is sure to bring back more memories.
When we were young, one of our favorite things was canoeing. And we'd get out and we'd go on these extensive canoe trips. And that's something that we absolutely adored. Being on the river, cooking out on the campfires, getting lost, you know, acting up. We could do all that. And we didn't have our parents around us, of course. And so it was pure freedom.
This bend in the knee is essential to keep you comfortable.
Interpretive naturalist guide Chris Kelly prepares the explorers for a ride of their life into an unpredictable glimpse of the real Florida.
Okay, ladies, how's everybody feeling? Everybody feeling relatively comfortable?
There's something about being out on the water in that beautiful nature that's around here in Florida and St. Augustine. And it's going to take us back, I think, to the way it used to be in the canoes on the trips.
Not exactly your average, ordinary nature center. This area is as complex as its name. The Guantanamo-Matanzas National Estuarine Research Reserve. What that translates into is more than 73,000 acres of natural wildness, set aside right between the bustling communities of St. Augustine and Jacksonville.
I want you guys to watch really closely where he goes because this dates back 3, 4, maybe 5,000 years ago.
What it would have been the same, you know, when the Indians were here. That's what I like to imagine when I'm on the water.
Well, it's about time for the mob to leave Girl Scout camp behind once again and return to their real lives. Someone once said that it's okay to say goodbye because without it, you can't look forward to meeting again.
I've been traveling now for 6 or 7 days.
when we have to leave and go back to our, life of what we do, we will have this memory. We'll do it again. You always will do it again. There's never an end to friendship.
I think that we bring out the best in each other, and that's what keeps us connected. We bring out each other's good qualities and fun, and, we just have a blast with each other doing it.
We've been together 40 plus years. I love to say that to people. These are women that I met as Girl Scouts, and I know that life gets in the way, but in between all of that, we'll always get together, yes.
Everyone's in a different place in their life, We have families, we have jobs, and it worked out that most of us could come here to Florida St. Augustine. Our home is where we all love to hang out. We're going to have another adventure again, so we have one more brick on that wall of memories.
I think the mob is eternal. Whether we see each other or not, or whether we talk to each other on a monthly, daily, yearly basis, the feelings are always going to be there. We're a big support system for each other, and I think that's going to be there forever.
Our Girl Scouts are friends for life, and I have a feeling that this is far from the last time they'll be getting away together.
If you'd like to know more about the people, places, and activities featured in this or any other episode of Getting Away Together, log on to gettingawaytogether.com. That's gettingawaytogether.com. Getting Away Together was made possible by
TripAdvisor.com. 50 million reviews and opinions from real travelers.
They treated me like a rock star. Even the concierge knew me by name.
We could kayak right from our own private dock.
It felt like we had the whole island to ourselves.
I could almost reach out my window and touch the Eiffel Tower.
What an amazing vacation. We can't wait to go back.
Fantastic.
Millions of reviews of hotels, vacation rentals, and more. All from real people who've been where you want to go. TripAdvisor.com.
You've planned your trip for a long time. Wouldn't it be nice to know someone is helping you make it safe and relaxing? For more than 20 years, CSA Travel Protection has been making travel convenient with friendly, expert service, giving you security that your travel investment is safe, whatever happens, and the assistance you need from travel delays to emergency care. Before, during, and after your trip, we're CSA Travel Protection.
We have almost 450 years of history, presenting the last 30 seconds of it.
Did you know that Ponce de Leon was only 4 foot 11 inches tall?
Fountain of youth. He should have been looking for the fountain of...
German submarines. Really?
German spies actually landed on the beach here in Ponte Vedra during World War II. But they were later captured by...
Ghost of Chief Osceola. They say he roams the ramparts at night. Can you see him?
No. Where?
Our history is not the same old story here on Florida's Historic Coast. Visit floridashistoriccoast.com for details.